Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, on with estate attorney Rylas Dana. How you doing, sir?
Hi, doing great.
Awesome, man. Well, do me a favor. I usually save this to the end, but let's get it out of the way now. If somebody's looking for probate or estate help in California or Arizona, how would you like them to reach out?
My website is danalegalhelp.com. So you can reach out there is the best way.
Very cool. And also, folks, if you're a part of my course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time, Rylas is as well. So occasionally when people post something, I just tag an attorney because some of y'all want me to act like an attorney and I don't play one on TV or YouTube. So I just tag attorneys and have them answer the question. So I appreciate that, Rylas.
Yeah, it's fun. A lot of times it's the attorney answer. I go, well, it depends.
Yeah.
And I have like 4 more questions, but I enjoy the discussions on there.
Well, it needs to be that because, we talk about entities and trusts and all of these things. And yes, there are kind of rules and outlines, but I mean, you get like 20 words in a sentence. How the heck are you supposed to give legal advice with that? I like how you answer them. So thank you.
Yeah, so I know it can be frustrating for people. They ask a single question and they want an answer, and sometimes it's kind of like almost a loaded question.
Right.
So I always go back to, well, tell me what you're trying to accomplish.
Exactly. And I love that.
And that's how I run my legal practice as well. So, anyone that's reached out, if they have a question, they'll get my team first,
right,
who will, see what they need. And then they'll take some initial information and get us scheduled for a call.
Right.
Because I like to talk specifics, right? Where I can see your actual assets, what you have a question about.
Yeah.
And I can go, here is what you should do for these reasons.
Well, that's why you're one of my experts and we talk almost every Mondays because you do the good work, right? I've been in this game a long time, and how should I say this nicely? Lots of people come to this with a loaded question, or they come with an answer to a question that they have, hoping you're going to answer it the same way because they have a bias, or maybe they sell that widget, right? So, I appreciate you asking the deeper questions. So thank you for that.
Yeah. So I'm very much a student too. I guess the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know, right? And, there's always a reason for different opinions. And
absolutely. Yeah. Well, you know what we're going to do from here is we're going to flip the script. We're going to treat you like a student at this point of how to get started one rental at a time, right? You're in the course. You are in the market where Laura Morby is a top 1% agent. We talk to Laura every Sunday, which is awesome. But I wanted to talk to you as a student this morning because you're fishing in a pond that Laura's like, Michael, it's different. Things are staying on the market longer. Sellers are going to are having price drops. And then we have, we have a wave of comments like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. The market's on fire and all of these things. So I wanted to ask a student who is doing the work, looking at the market. What are you seeing? Is your buy box expanding? Are you seeing price drops? What's going on from an investor perspective?
Yeah, so it makes me excited from an investor perspective, going back to, just a couple months ago, when I would see properties listed for sale, they would say like accepting bids.
Exactly.
It wasn't even
wasn't an offer, it was a bid.
Yeah. And things were just disappearing so fast. It was kind of frustrating doing the work because it was just it would change so rapidly. And now things are sitting on there longer, where I'm starting to see things just sit there longer. I'm seeing more price drop alerts.
Yeah.
And there's a few for sale by owners that I'm watching where, I just continue to see what they're doing or how the property is just sitting.
Yeah. That is so awesome. I'm so glad to hear all of that. I hope all of my students are seeing the same thing. Yeah, there was a time, I call it April, right? I'm saying April to August is kind of the comparison. In April, stuff was just gone. By the time you took the time to update your spreadsheet, it was already gone. But now things are sitting. And what I would suggest, again, in most markets, and it'll happen in all markets, is at different rates. You're going to find the biggest opportunities in what I call but properties. So let me explain what a but property is, right? The cleanest, the best school system, the fully remodeled, the top notch, that stuff's going to still sell because you only need one buyer. Right? That's the trick with houses. You only need one. But the but properties that are that are missing activity, right? The open houses with the open house next to a commercial area or too close to a school, right? You can be close to a school, but you can't be too close to a school, right? These houses, they're seeing a lot less open house activity. They're not seeing offers in the first 48 hours. This is going to be the time where if you do the work, you can uncover motivated sellers. And I'm guessing they're going to be in what I call yeah, but properties.
Yeah, yeah. So the properties that aren't fully rehab, they're close, but they're not quite there. But
Yeah.
yet they're chasing the kind of the appraisal of their neighbor is what I saw. They think they get the same values, but they're not the same level. So that's what they've been sitting on the market for a while. So I've been watching and it's letting them get a dose of reality, right?
Yeah.
And like I know, like Laura was saying yesterday, agents called and they go, "What's wrong with your property?" And that's exactly what I've been saying when I call agents or for sale by owner. It's like, what's wrong? Like, isn't this the hottest market? Like, why isn't your house sold?
That is amazing. Yeah, folks, we are going from, I don't know, 100 miles an hour to 50, but it feels like it's going backwards, and it's just not. But this is where you can find opportunities, because this is what will happen. And this is why real estate moves slow, right? In a stock environment, a crypto environment, it's milliseconds. In housing, it takes months or at least weeks and sometimes months for that dose of reality, right? Because, right, if you're an agent like Laura is, you list a property at, I don't know, I'm going to make up numbers, 500 that should be 450. Well, the seller's going to list it for 500. It's going to go out for a weekend. The seller's going to call the agent, go, "What the hell? Why don't we have an offer?" Well, this, well, that, well, this, well, that. 2, 3, 4 weeks later, still nothing. There's going to be an uncomfortable conversation. One of two things are going to happen. The seller is going to agree to lower it to 475, or they're going to say, leave it at 500. The contract or the listing agreement expires in 90 days. So what's going to happen here is we're going to find out what sellers want to sell and then what sellers just want to stay put. Because if you think your house is $499 and it doesn't get a $499, you can decide not to sell and stay put. Others will be like, nope, I bought the place in Texas or Nashville or Miami. I have to move. What is it going to take to move? So those are the people I want to buy from. I call them motivated sellers.
Yeah, I think the end of the year is going to get really good.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if we get a tax raise.
Oh, yes.
In this next budget meeting.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you're going to have a lot of motivated sellers that want to sell before year end.
Yeah. Between Thanksgiving to end of the year could be wild.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm gearing up for. And just like watching all these things that are sitting a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And, I'm watching to see, you have these flippers that are doing the beautiful remodels that are getting top dollar. They're kind of pushing it, but I'm seeing if that can hold.
Yep.
An interesting story that Jamil Damji told on the wholesale hotline.
Yep.
He's a big buyer. His company, Keegley, they're probably the biggest.
Probably.
But they're saying how they got top dollar for a deal recently, and is one of the iBuyers.
Interesting.
So I think you're seeing, some of that. I don't know.
Frothy.
What's that?
I call it frothiness.
Frothiness.
Yeah, I think the beauty of iBuyers is if you can be a provider to them. So here's the magic of an iBuyer from someone who has never sold to them. I've never sold. So I just have a wild ass opinion like everybody else. iBuyers have a buy box, just like you and me. If you can figure out the magic of their buy box, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1-story, tile roof, I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, they will pay through the nose for those.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is kind of what Jamil was talking about. If they own hundreds of houses in the neighborhood and the zip code, they have an incentive to overpay.
Yeah, to be a comp.
Right, because then the rest of their book goes up.
Oh, that is so sad. That is dirty pool, but I think he's right, because that's how single family homes are appraised. They take comps usually within a half mile if it's a big city. So if you can artificially put in a couple of silly comps, yeah, your whole book goes up. Oh man, that is that's comical, and also makes me a little bit afraid.
Yeah, but I think we're seeing less and less of that as things slow down, right? There's less people that are, they just have to move, or they're willing to pay whatever just to get a house.
Mhm.
I think those buyers are gone.
Yeah, I think the slowdown is real. We are seeing increased supply right as demand kind of retreats, as Laura talks about. She had 15 buyers down to 2, and like more than half just signed rental agreements, right? So they're out of the market for 10 months because they had signed a year lease. Right. We're seeing, and again, it's, it went from the most lopsided market ever to maybe a more balanced market, or maybe we're heading back to more balance. So it is going to drive new investors crazy, just how sudden and how slow it is. But, for guys that are doing the work, you see it coming.
Yeah. And then on the legal end, when I have clients where I'm representing trusts and estates that we're administering, I feel like there is more, I tell them to sell quickly. I'm just like, hey, like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to go the retail route. And if so, we better have a really good realtor who's honest with you, not
Yeah. Don't set a
trying to
number at
chase the
400
market.
when it's 300.
Yeah. So
Yeah. It's an interesting, I've done a couple of probate deals, and obviously, let's just be clear, they're not usually in the best condition. They're a little run down. They haven't been remodeled in a while, at least the ones that I have purchased. Maybe there are exceptions, but yeah, this is not a market for, but that market's over, right? If you were coming out February, March, April, you could have gotten, junk was selling retail. It won't the rest of the year. It's just different.
yeah. So it's, you've been talking about it for like a year, and
We're here now.
Yep. So I've been watching, and we're finally seeing the signs. So we'll see how this year closes out. And I think we're just going to see more, more opportunities.
Exactly the right word I was going to say. The slowdown is going to create opportunities for the students doing the work. We're seeing in the Facebook group, people posting deals. Hey, got something under market, under asking, price discount, right? So I love the Facebook group, which you're a part of again, just for the deals that people post. It keeps me motivated. It keeps me doing the work.
Yeah. A lot of great people in there.
Very cool. Well, again, Rylas, tell us how we can find you if somebody needs a probate or estate help in the state of Arizona or California.
My website is danalegalhelp.com, or you can give us a call, 480-924-4424.
And once again, folks, he is in the course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time. If you ask a legal question, this is the guy that I tag because I won't answer it. So, Rylas, thank you very much, buddy.
Thank you.